that's the top 20 on Bob McKenzie's list. Tony, I'll let you go first. Go through some guys that we might have thrown on that list that were not there. But if you have anyone that's on mine, fire it off and I'll nod in agreement.
Yeah, the two guys that I think both of us had were LJ Mooney and Adam Benak. Adam Benak specifically, like, just what an unreal playmaker. You've seen him a little bit in the USHL this year. Just the kid's so skilled, so good. It made no sense to me, but at the end of the day, he's small. So is LJ Mooney. I'm not completely shocked that they're off the list. The two guys that I wanted to mention that weren't on the list are Cam Schmidt, another kind of smaller guy, but Melvin Novotny. I loved his Hlinka.
Yeah,
that's a guy I was all over at the Hlinka. Just so good, made so many nice plays. Just used some power in his game. I really thought NHL teams would like him a little bit more, and I thought if anyone's going to get in off a good Hlinka, it'd be a guy like him. But they threw a goalie in at 20 anyway instead, so whatever.
Yeah, whatever. What can you do, right? I mean, yeah, I agree. Melvin Novotny was a late addition to the Swedish team, and I thought he was one of their better players consistently every time. He didn't play a ton, but he was out there and doing the thing. On that note, I will throw out the other Swedish guy that I watched. I tracked a game of him today, and he was excellent, and that's Eric Nilsson. And I thought he was great at the Hlinka. I think he's a guy that could be in my first round at the end of the year. He's playing center in Djurgården. He's with the new program. Him and Arvid Drott are playing together, and they were absolutely dynamite in the game I did today. So he's a guy that I'm very, very interested in as well. But the guys that I have on my list that I'm a little bit surprised about weren't here are Jackson Smith and our two wild cards in Jackson Smith and Kurban Limatov. So Limatov is an optimistic one for me. It's like the mini Radim Murtka, where it's like sometimes you see things come out of Limatov when you watch him play in Russia, and you're like, holy crap, look at this guy go, right? 6'5" kid, he's huge, skates pretty effortlessly around the ice and just gets up and down so well. It's just like moving the puck is still a question mark. But then you see him just slice and dice through the neutral zone sometimes, and you're like, oh my God, this guy is so weird, but I love him, and I want to see what happens with him. And the other one I wanted to throw out there was Jackson Smith. Again, like at the Hlinka, I thought you saw Jackson Smith, and I remember watching him last year going, this guy is a lot of fun, but oh my God, there are some real, you grab your desk moments with him. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's very scary, but God love him. I think Jackson Smith, I'm surprised he wasn't on this list, to be honest. He's the one that I think surprised me the most. Mooney, I think Mooney's going to be one of those guys who goes 36th overall to some like Carolina or something. And we're like, and he's in the NHL in 2 years and, has that Logan Stankoven curve. Because every time I've seen LJ Mooney, I think he's just electric, like just electrifying. Like he's small, but I think he's got the juice. He's got the speed. He's got the vibe. He's got the pace in his game, the speed, everything you could want in a small player to overcome that shortcoming. I thought he was excellent at the under 18s, and I believe he was the only 07 on the American team there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I see no reason to not believe in the kid. But Jackson Smith was the one legitimately that surprised me that he wasn't on this list at all, because I think the potential is huge with him. He's tall, but he skates really well. He's got some offensive skill. He can shoot. But there are some downsides to his game, unfortunately. And but yeah, those are the guys that I think, for me, probably surprised me a little bit that they didn't get a lot of consideration. But, it's tale as old as time, right? The smaller guys, the guys that play with a lot of fun in their game, take a back seat to the lower pace, high IQ, guys who see the ice really well. And over the years, they'll get more talented. They'll get quicker. They'll get stronger. They'll get more skilled, and everything will come together. And it's like, well, sure. Then there's the guys where it's kind of all there now, right? So we'll see how it goes.